I have this WAEC question, and the question says, the figure below shows the front elevation of a right cone cut by two planes PQ and RS. Draw full size in first angle projection. Question Roman figure 1, the given elevation. Roman figure 2, a complete plan. Roman figure 3, the surface development making PR the seam. Let me read the question again. The figure below shows the front elevation of a right cone cut by two planes PQ and RS. Draw full size in first angle projection. The given elevation, a complete plan, the surface development making PR the seam. Alright, so here we have the given view or the given elevation. We have that the diameter of the circular base of this cone is 64 degree or 64 millimeters, 64 millimeters. And then we have the height of the cone to be 70 millimeters. Then we have the distance between the base and this point where the cutting plane PQ touches this side to be 30 millimeters. So we have the angle at which this cutting plane RS inclined to the horizontal to be 15 degree. So let's see how the construction can be done. So what we are to do first is to draw a horizontal center line. So here we have a horizontal center line like this, okay? Then next we are going to draw a vertical center line. So we draw a vertical center line here like this. So here we have the vertical center line. Okay, so we need to extend it up a bit. Alright, so here we have the vertical center line. The next thing that we are going to do, the diameter that we are given is 64 millimeters. We divide 64 by 2, and that will give us 32 millimeters. So we take a measurement of 32 millimeters. This is 32 millimeters. So put the pin here and then draw a circle. So draw a circle like this, okay? Then this circle, we are going to divide it into 12 equal parts. So divide the circle into 12 equal parts. So setting the set square like this. So I will draw a line from here to here. And then so we bring it to this side like this, okay? And then so we draw a line like this from here to here. And then so we turn the set square to this side. So we draw a line from here to here like this. And then so we come to this side. So we draw a line like this, okay? So we have divided the circle into 12 equal parts. The point on the circle, we are going to number them. So I'll call this point 0, this is 1, this is 2, here is 3. So I have this point to be point 4, this is 5, this is 6, here is 7, so this is 8, so this is 9, okay? So here is 10, and then we have 11 here. Alright, so we have numbered the point on the circle. Then we come up a little bit and then we draw a horizontal line at any distance from the circle. Draw a horizontal line. Then the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to draw a vertical line from this point 0 to touch the horizontal line. So draw a vertical line from here to touch the horizontal line. So from this point 11, so this point on 11 is meant for both 1 and 11. Draw a vertical line touching the horizontal line. From this point 10, so it is meant for both 10 and 2 and 10. Draw a vertical line to touch the horizontal line. We have done that of 3 and 9, which is the center. So come to this point 8. It is meant for both 4 and 8. Draw a vertical line to touch the horizontal line. So from this point 7, for both 5 and 7, draw a vertical line. And come to this point 6 and draw a vertical line to touch the horizontal line. Then come to the center here. From this point, take the measurement of 70 millimeters up, which is the height of the cone. This is 70 millimeters. So all these points that we have where the vertical line touches the horizontal line, we connect them with the apex of the cone like this, okay? So connect this point with the apex of the cone, and also this point here, connect it here with the apex of the cone, and then come to this side, connect this point together with the apex of the cone. So it goes like this. So connect this point also with the apex of the cone. it goes like this, and then this point, connect it with the apex of the cone like this. So we have this now. All right, so we have this. So now, so let us put the cutting planes as we are given. So first of all, we have cutting plane PQ. So this is cutting plane PQ. So the distance of this point from the base here is 30 millimeters. The cutting plane is inclined at an angle 30 degrees to the horizontal. So what we are to do, okay? So what we are to do now is that, so what we are to do now, so we come to the base. So at this point here, we take 30 millimeters up. So you take it on the vertical, not on the slant side. So take a distance of 30 millimeters up. So this is 30 millimeters here. Then, so the T-square, so come and mark it here. So set the T-square on that point and mark it here on this slant side. Then we are, as we see in the diagram, so the cutting plane PQ is at angle 30 degrees to the horizontal. So with 30 degrees set square. So draw the cutting plane like this. So we draw the cutting plane. So from here, so draw the cutting plane, let it go this way. So this is the cutting plane PQ like this. So here we have the cutting plane PQ as we have it here. Now, so here we have cutting plane PQ. So let us write it here. So this is cutting plane PQ. So here we have P, okay. Then here we have Q here. So this is cutting plane PQ. Then we have cutting plane RS to be at an angle 15 degrees to the horizontal, and it starts from this point here. It starts from this point. Let me bring this for you to see it. So this is the cutting plane. Start from this point and goes like this at angle 15. So it goes in this direction. So in this case, we have to make use of the protractor to get that angle out. So bring the protractor to this point, to this particular point here. So set it like this, and then make sure this line on the protractor is on the horizontal base of the cone. So just set this way. Okay, so set like this. All right, so we have this. Then take 15 degree. So this is angle 15 degree here. Just put a dot on the paper. Then draw a line from this point here. Draw a line from this point to pass through that point that we put on the paper for the cutting plane RS. So it goes like this. All right, so we have the cutting plane RS. So this is cutting plane RS here. So we have what we have this. All right, so this is cutting plane RS. So we have done that. So this part is cut off and this part is cut off. So what we have to do now is that we are going to make this line from this point. So down to this point here, we make it a thick line, okay? And then we also make this a thick line like this, okay? So here we have what this is cut off and this is cut off. All right, so now, so we are asked to draw the complete plan. That is question Roman figure 2 or question B. So we have done that of question A that says we should draw the given elevation, which has been done. Now let's go and see how we can draw the complete plan. So in this case, okay, we are going to something as we go. So in this case, this is line 0. So the cutting plane touches this line 0 at this point. When we take this off, we are going to see a rough surface up here. So that roughness has to be shown here in the plan. So in this case, as I said, so this cutting plane touches this line 0 at this point. It touches line 1 and 11 at this point. It touches line 2 and 10 at this point. It touches line 3 and 9 at this point. Touches 4 and 8 at this point. Touches 5 and 7 at this point, and touches 6 at this point. So we are going to project a vertical line from each of the points. So we come to this point here, to this point for 0 here. So draw a vertical line, okay? So this vertical line, it intersects this line 0. This line 0, it intersects it at this point. So take note of this point here, like this, okay? Then we come to point 111. So come to point 111, I have to. Okay, so come to point 111. So this is point 111 here, okay? This is point 111. So draw a vertical line. So the vertical line intersects 1 at this point, okay? And intersect 11 at this point. So then we come to point 210, so which is this point here. So draw a vertical line down like this, okay? So this vertical line intersects 2 at this point and intersect 10 at this point. So if you look at this line 3 and 9, is a vertical line, is not a slant line as we have it here. So what we are to do in this case, when we have a case like this, so we are to draw a horizontal line from this point where the cutting plane intersects line 3 and 9, draw horizontal line like this, and then with the compass take the distance from here, from this point to where the horizontal line touches the slant side, okay, then bring it to the center here, and make an arc on 9 up here and make an arc on 3 down here. So this point is point 3, so this is point 3, and then this is point 9 as we have it here. Next, so we have what? We have the cutting plane touching line 4 and 8 at this point. So come to this point like this with the set square and draw a vertical line down. So we draw a vertical line down here. So this line, it intersects 4 at this point and intersect 8 at this point. Then we come to this point, so where the cutting plane touches line 5 and 7. So come to this point like this, and then so draw a vertical line down here. Okay, so this vertical line intersect 5 at this point and intersect 7 at this point. This is 7, we intersect 7 at this point, and last one is 6, so it touches line 6 at this point. So come to this point here and then draw a vertical line down. So we draw a vertical line down, so this line, it intersects 6 at this point. So we have this. Okay, now so looking at what we have here, so this part of the cone is cut off. When I'm looking at it from the top down, so a part here will be taken away, so we need to do that here. You have to take that part off. So you come to this point here, to this point R here, and then draw a vertical line down like this. So draw a vertical line down. Okay, so to show that this part is cut off. So that is what we have here. So we have this point. So now before I work on here, so let's work on this. We are going to connect this point together with the French curve. So connect this point together with the French curve to show the roughness of that surface. So we connect this together. So with the French curves, we join this together like this. All right, so connect this together, and then so we also need to turn to this side. So we connect this together with the French curve. So coming to this point like this, so we connect this point, we connect them together like this. All right, so then we have to connect this point together here. So we connect this point together. So and then so we are going to show the roughness of the top here in the plan. So with the 45-degree set square, we are to show the roughness of this part. So by drawing the arching lines, so we draw arching lines on this surface. Okay, so arching lines are drawn within continuous line, and they are to be equally spaced as I'm doing it here. All right, so we have produced arching lines here. So then, as I said, so this part is cut off, which has to be shown here in the plan. Okay, so so it's not only that, so a part here is also cut off. So we have what? We have this point, as I've drawn a vertical line here. So we have this point, and we also have this point. So a part here is also cut off. So we also need to show that here in the plan. So we also need to draw, so where this so where the cutting plane intersects this line. Okay, so so looking at what we have here, so where the cutting plane intersects this line of so it intersects. Okay, this is for 6, so this is for 6. Okay, so I draw a vertical line from here, okay, where this cutting plane RS touches line 6. So I drew a vertical line here, which this is for 6. Okay, so let's take note of that. And then that of 5 and 7, which is this point. So come to this point on this slant line 5 and 7. So draw a vertical line. So draw a vertical line like this. Okay, so it touches 5 at this point. Okay, touches 5 at this point, and it touches 7 at this point. So take note of that. Then we have that of 4 and 8. So come to this point here and draw a vertical line like this. So it touches 4 at this point, okay, and it touches 8 at this point. So you have to be very careful with this. Okay, we have this. Then we also have that of 3 and 9. So that of 3 and 9. So draw horizontal line from this point to this side. Okay, so we are going to take the compass and take that distance from this point here. So to this point, take this distance like this, and then so put the pin at this center here. So make an arc up here, make an arc down here. So here we have this point. This is for 9. Okay, and this is for 3. Okay, so all right, so then we also have that of 2 and 10. So it's called this point also. So 2 and 10. So come to this point, okay, on the slant line of 2 and 10. So draw a vertical line down here. So it touches, if I take it down, so we have this point. So it touches, here we have what we have. So it will touch through at this point, and this is 10 at this point. Okay, so we have this, and that of 111, so it will be exactly on 111. So we have this. Okay, so it's exactly on 11. So and then on 1 here. So all these points are to be joined together with the use of the French curve. So it goes like this. So we join this point together with the French curve. So it goes like this. Okay, so if you don't do this, you don't have a complete plan. So you don't have a complete plan if you don't do this. So you have to do this. Okay, because that part is cut off. All right, so we go this way, and then so we connect this together like this, and then so this goes with 11. Okay, then coming to this side here, and then so this goes with 1. So we have this. Okay, so this is what we have left. After that part is cut off. So this is what we have left. All this have been removed. So what we have here now, so we have to make this line or this curve to make it visible like this. We have this. So this is what we have left. Okay, after this part is cut off. So this is the complete plan as we have it. Let's go for the surface development. So we want to develop this remaining part after this has been taken off and this is taken off. So what we have to do now, so we come up here, so we come up here like this, and then we draw a horizontal line like this. Okay, so I'm going to call this point. So this point I'll call it point O, and I call this one, I'll call it O prime. Okay, so I'll call it O prime like this. So we have what we have this. All right, so then the next thing that we are going to do is that, so we take the compass and then we take the distance from this point. So we take the distance from here. So we take the distance from this point, from this point O to this point. That is the true length. And then we put at this point and we draw an arc like this. So we draw an arc this way. Then we are going to take distance, the arc, this distance 0, 1. So you take it like this. Okay, so take 0, 1 like this, and then we are going to make 12 equal parts because the base here, the circular base is divided into 12 equal parts. We are going to make 12. So this is 1, and then so here we have this to be 2. So this is 3. This is 4. So we have this to be 5. So this is 6. Here is 7. So if this is not enough, I'm going to add paper. I think I should have come somewhere here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 10, 9. And here we have this to be 10. Okay, so I need to add paper. So I'm going to put paper down here a bit like this. All right, so I have this. So I need to come and extend this arc. So I put the pin here, extend to this point like this, and then extend this arc like this. Okay, so we have made it up to 10. Okay, so we have next, so we have 11. So we have 11. So then we have what? We have 12. So this is 12. All right, so I'm going to connect this point together with point O prime. So it goes like this. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so then connect this together like this. Connect this together to this point, and this goes together with this point, and then we have this goes together with this point. So here we have this connected, and then all right, so we have this connected, and then okay, so we have this connected. So we have this point connected, and then we have this point connected like this. So we have this. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so that's what we have. So we are opening from this PR, as we are told that the seam should be PR. So we are cutting it here and spreading it. So what we have now, so let's number. So we have what? We have 6. We are going to have 6 on this side, and then 6 on this side. So 6 on both sides here. So after 6, we have what? We have 5. Okay, so this will be 5, and this will be 7. Then we have what? We have 4. So we have 8 here. Okay, then we have what? We have 3. So 9 will be on this side. Then we have what? We have 2. Then here we have 10. So this is 1. This is 11, and then we have 0 here. So that's how we are going to number it. Now we take the compass. So let's start from the top one. So from here for 6. So extend to this point where this cutting plane PQ so touches line 6. So we have this point here. So take the distance and bring it to this point O prime here. So make an arc on 6 to this side and make an arc here. Okay, so next we have what? We have 0 to, so sorry, we have O to what? O to this point. So 5, 7. So take it like this. Put the pin here and make an arc on 7. Make an arc on 5. So we have this. Then so we move from here. So to 4, 8, which is this one like this. So bring it to this point here, and then make an arc on 8. Make an arc on 4. So then to that of 3, 9. So which is from O to this point. Okay, so where the cutting plane touches line 3, 9. So we have this. So put at this point here. So make an arc on 9 and make an arc on 3. Okay, we have this. Then next from that's 210. So we take this. Okay, so we have what? We have 210. So put it here at this point. Then make an arc on 10. Make an arc on 2. So next, so we have what? We have that of 1, 11. So put it here. So put it at this point. So make an arc on 11. Make an arc on 1. And the last one is that of 0. So we take it like this. So from here, so we have what? We have. Okay, so put at this point. So we have what? We have this point 4. Okay, so this point that we have here, so we are going to join them, the French cut. Before that, so let us do the one down here because that part is cut off. So from point O to this of 6, so put it here. So make an arc on 6 here and make an arc on 6 here, and then so next from O to that of 5, 7, so which is this point here. So put it at this point and make an arc on 7, make an arc on 5. So next from O to that of 4, 8, so which is this point here. So this particular point that we have here. So put it at this point and then make an arc on 8, make an arc on 4. So next from O to that of 3 and 9. So here we have this point. Okay, so put it at this point here. So make an arc on 9, make an arc on 3. So that of 210, so which is this point here. So this point here. So make an arc. So put it at this point, make an arc on 10 and make an arc on 2. So then next one, we have that of 1, 11, so which is this point here. So we'll make an arc. So put at this point, make an arc on 11 and make an arc on 1. So it will end here. So what we are to do now, so with the French curve, we are going to connect these points together. So connect this point together with the French curve. So this one, so I'm looking at it. So this goes like this. Okay. So join this point together. So it goes like this. So we have this. All right. So then, so I'm looking at this. So set like this. For the curve to come out, we have this. We join together, and then so for this point, so we connect this together, and then all right, so we can connect from here to this point. We have this. So we have to draw something similar to this on this side. So, and I will start like this by connecting this point together. All right, so then on down here, so I'm going to connect this point together like this. Then I will come here, so connect. Okay, so we connect this point together like this. All right, so we have it down there. So up here, so we are going to connect this point together. So we have this. All right, so and then on this side, let me do the same thing at once. So connect this point together. So this goes like this. All right, so and then so we connect this together like this, and then so connect this together. So we have to draw something similar to the one that's okay. So and then so this point, so connect them together like this. So you must learn how to use the French curve perfectly. So then so this point, so we join them together like this, and this point we join them together. So here we have what? Here we have the surface development, okay, of the truncated cone as I've done it here. So we have the complete plan, the given elevation, and also the surface development. It's as simple as I've done it here. Thank you and God bless you.